All right, welcome to another episode of Nightmare Stories of the Otherside. Today we welcome in and Kenz, who we had the honor of investigating with at Farrar Elementary back in, I was going to say August, wow, April. And I learned a little something about Kenz, which is kind of small in the grand scheme of things, but her favorite number is 47. And this happens to be our 47th podcast. So welcome in, Em and Kenz, and tell us a little more about yourself.
Man.
Whoever wants to go first.
All right, I'm Em. From Pennsylvania. I'm 25, and this is my partner that I ghost hunt with. We're also best friends and roommates. We've been doing this for about 2 years now, and we just kind of go when we can, when our work schedules permit it, and yeah, super fun.
All right. So do you want to tell us? So one thing I do remember from your bio, you had mentioned Salem back in 2020 as your beginning. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so that was our friends. We did like a spooky Halloween trip every year, and this time we went to Salem, and it was during the height of the pandemic. So I got a false positive on a COVID test. Knew it was a false positive. Had like 4 negatives to this one positive, but I was just being careful so she didn't take anything home. And we're on a ghost like tour walking around Salem, and we get to this house, and her and I are the only two to see this little girl standing in a window. And like we started going closer and closer to each other until we were sitting there.
I think I actually smacked her really hard on
smacking
accident.
each other because we're like, do you see that? Do you see what that little girl just randomly in the window? And yeah, that's kind of where it all started. That's where our friendship really started. Got really close after that, and we've kind of been inseparable ever since.
Yep.
Cool.
So when you guys were out in Salem, besides seeing the little girl, is there anything else that happened that you could share and talk about?
I know I had a really odd dream involving that little girl.
Before or?
No, like after we saw her, but it was almost like I was the little girl and I was hiding from somebody. And then right as soon as like feet came under the bed, I kind of woke up because I was like,
yeah, she was trying to tell you part of the story of her life.
Probably.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't think anything really happened else in Salem except for
I didn't pack for the weather at all, so I was so cold.
They got a massive snowstorm that was not on the radar our first day there.
You gotta love those.
Yeah.
And I had to get a new windshield wiper the next day
because it blew off after the ghost hunt.
All right. So when you guys, decided to start investigating, like, how did that look? Did you guys just, decide we're gonna start and like go to smaller places, bigger locations? How did that happen?
It was actually my birthday present from her that year. We went to Old Hospital on College Hill for like a haunted nights event. We spent the night there with, doing that. And then we went to a couple more events, and then we started renting out places on our own.
So for an Old Hospital, what kind of experiences did you guys have?
She always looks at me. Old Hospital. We were in the like maternity ward, and they had like baby dolls set up in some of the bassinets. And I remember we were playing a baby crying, and I just kind of yelled, and I don't even like really know why I yelled it, but I was like, somebody take it. I said I didn't want it. And I was like, whoop, I don't know where that came from, but I'm going to take a walk. So I took a little bit of a walk, and I came back, and I went into a room that was like spray painted nurse's station or something. And when I walked out of that, I felt like a sharp stab in my side. And I was like, oh, like there's a tag or something that like I missed. Or that like it just poked me now that I missed. So I made Emily check me, and she was like, no, you're good. And then we got down to the basement, and I still felt it, and I made Emily check me again, and there were scratches.
Hmm.
There were like 3 scratches and then 1 going down.
Yeah. Almost stitches.
Interesting.
I don't know where it happened, if it was at Farrar or if it was at Rock Island afterwards, but we got back home the following week, and I realized there was a big scratch on the back of my head.
I think it was Farrar.
It could be, and Kenz, you seen what was behind me? Coming out of that little area there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have gifts of being able to see spirits?
Sometimes when they let us, I can more hear and like feel them, like, and know that somebody's there. I can see sometimes, but like more see
I'm a little
and
bit
hear.
more visual and hearing.
Okay.
Which is why sometimes I think during that night I was like, did you guys hear that? And everybody was like, no. And I was like, oh, okay. But in the boiler room, I felt so uncomfortable with you going last. I was like, I don't know why, but I just, nope.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, there, I only went in the boiler room for like maybe 30 seconds. I walked in there, instantly had a huge migraine. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm out. And then as soon as I left, it was fine.
Yeah. I spent a good chunk of time in there, between just me and a few other people, and
I didn't want to go in there by myself.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was so comfortable, I would have gone in there by myself.
Yeah, and then that's how you get mind warped.
Yeah. Madison Seminary.
At the Madison Seminary.
No, we'll be there, next weekend already?
Yeah.
Don't do the mind warp room as a solo.
Be careful of the mind warp room.
Oh, I'm planning on throwing myself in there by my...
Okay, I went in there because it felt so empty on the tour.
Yeah.
It's not empty, and you will come out real weird.
We were yelling for her, and she was not responding. We walked down to her, and I walk in there, and I'm like, what are you doing? Because she's sitting there just...
I saw the footage. I don't remember it.
Rocking back and forth. And I'm like, okay, like, you need to go. And then she tried to bite the camera.
No, I sniffed it.
She sniffed the camera. That's right. She sniffed the camera, and then I took her out to the car. I was like, you need...
I've seen the footage.
Like, to step out of here for a few minutes.
I remember skipping down the stairs.
So some old kid must have been trying to get to you.
That, or somebody with like, it almost felt like I was like really, really low, and then I was like really, really high, almost like a bipolar, like opposite ends.
Yeah.
So it could have been that too.
Is that your guys' phone?
Yeah.
Okay, I just didn't know if that was mine or...
I have it on by, like, I have the sound clicked off, but it was sitting on a box.
So what other interesting experiences did you have at Madison?
We got a name in the drunk tank. Which most people don't get. We got Pete. That's just our cat.
Sorry, the cat.
Yeah. Did you do any searching to see if there actually had been a Pete there?
I don't think we did.
No, I don't think so. Because it like when we were looking up like afterwards, because we like to go into a lot of things completely blind, not knowing the history, not knowing anything. When we like looked it up after, like some of the ghost stories are about the drunk ghost in the drunk tank. That through as the night progresses, he'll like through the spirit box, he'll start slurring his words. That's black coffee.
So other people just knew he was there, just not.
Yeah, they knew that he was there, and that because he'll start slurring his words, you'll start hearing more like bangs into the wall, and it's him stumbling around, and it's.
He wanted a tiny diny. We left like tiny dinosaurs there.
Yeah,
and we left said presents for Pete.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just trying to find my notes for Madison, but they're probably packed away already for next week. So I was going to check and see if we had that name in there.
That was just what we kept getting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we kept getting Pete.
We actually left Madison early.
Yeah, we bailed out of Madison a little bit early because it was just getting really weird, and
we had a double Estes going on with her and one of our friends that she was saying like she was being all sorts of creepy towards me and saying like, all hurt, come back upstairs.
I was just saying what I heard.
And then our friend was like, no, you're staying down here. You're good down here. Like, it was two conflicting Esteses, like they were arguing.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've heard that a few times where the spirits, they are actually talking together or arguing or whatever. Yeah. I mean, there's been one time in the jail cell out behind the place that we're going to tonight where the guy that supposedly did a murder and the guy that may have actually done the murder are still arguing about it in the afterlife.
That would be
so the guy that was supposedly the murderer got hung. It was Redwood County's one and only hanging because it was botched. The first time the rope broke, the second time he strangled instead of actually snapping his neck. So that was the first hanging, or first and only hanging we had in this county.
Yeah, they should not have continued hanging if they couldn't get the first one.
Yeah, that's what they figured.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good. Let's see. So where was the first place, like after your tours and stuff you did, like at Old Hospital and the others, where was the first location that you guys investigated?
We went into the body cooler. That was the first place we went. She took a little nap in there.
I had beef jerky and a Red Bull in there.
Yep, beef jerky and a Red Bull. Took a little nap.
Well, guess where I get to go?
Oh, Chad. Yeah, he walked into it.
Yep, I did.
How did that conversation go again? I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it went something to where would you be willing to stay in a mortuary? Again, you know, I don't think it was specifically body cooler, and I was like, sure. He's like, okay.
Yeah, she climbed into the body cooler, and then we went upstairs.
I performed fake CPR on Emily.
Fake CPR to where one of my piercings got pulled out.
Because if there's not time, they'll just pull your piercings out.
Yeah, because it was still like an acting hospital in like the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
So they would have just...
They'll either, if they can't get the cutters, they'll just
pop it out. Very painful. Very painful. Was not a fan of that one.
Well, that's kind of like guys with CPR pads. I used to work on the ambulance, and guys that were really hairy. Well, we always had an extra set of pads. Put it on, rip it off.
Yeah.
Yep.
They didn't feel it anyways, I guess. So
Yeah.
I felt mine. I was awake.
yeah, yeah.
I fully felt mine.
Mhm.
So for other locations you guys have been to, what are some of the most memorable?
ISS. I was walking through the rooms alone, and somebody walked out of the room. There was nobody there, and said, "I need my meds," and walked back into the room.
Nice.
I
Did you
accidentally smashed
did you
another
go get them for me?
creator.
And then what was the other weird ISS thing?
I saw the man in the hospital gown, and I accidentally smacked somebody.
Yeah, her thing when she gets scared is hitting. So don't stand too close, because she'll start hitting you.
Sometimes it's just, hey, do you see that too? And I didn't realize, like, people had switched where they were standing when we were walking, so it was not my friend on this side.
It was somebody else. I think the other thing that kind of happened was I saw like a nurse, and she yelled at me because when we did ISS, I was in a walking boot because I tore something in my ankle. So just to keep everything, she was telling me to rest my ankle from the walking boot.
Oh, she cared.
She did care. And I did Moundsville and ISS 2 weekends apart in the walking boot.
The nurse wasn't the only one yelling at her.
Yeah, everybody was yelling at me, and I was like, I'm fine. Let me go ghost hunting. I'll take a break if I need to.
When you guys were at ISS, did you go down to the tunnels at all?
We did.
Yes, I was gonna do. It's the mile-long, like, little tunnel you have to basically army crawl through, but I didn't have, like, a longer sleeve, and I didn't want to rip my arms up.
They don't recommend you do that.
They don't recommend it. They just tell you, like, it's an option. And I was like, I could do it.
I wouldn't think you're going to get a whole lot down there to begin with.
I think she just wanted to army crawl for a mile.
I wanted to see where it let out.
Yeah, we did go down into the tunnels. That was probably one of the last things we did.
Yeah, we made a frog friend down there.
Yeah, there was a frog down there. But nothing really happened down there for us. It was like a 2-day event thing, and they said that the night before was super active. The night we went, it was a little less active.
Yeah.
And we played some kind of like jumping game.
Oh, Chinese checkers.
Chinese checkers.
I got activity out of that in a room.
In a room.
I had a boyfriend from Moundsville for a little bit. And he came to ISS.
Mr. Joe Corey. Joe Corey was an actual inmate who...
I found his docket.
Murdered his wife.
And her friend.
Because
she wanted a divorce.
She wanted a divorce, and she oddly looked like Mackenzie with the dark hair.
We have a friend who's really good with, like, seeing, like, a lot of stuff. And she was like, I keep seeing this woman. And she was like, I know it's not you. But she was like, it looks so much like you. And I was like, what?
It was Mr. Joe Corey's wife.
Yeah.
That bludgeoned because
she wanted a divorce.
The weapon jammed.
Yeah, was it last? Wait, was it last year? Yeah, last year when Natalie and I were at ISS, we were just there for a couple hours at the tail end of the day from like 4 to 6 in the afternoon. And, you know, we didn't really get much activity in the main part of the building, but we got quite a bit down the tunnels. Like, we were down there for probably a good hour, and the music box was constantly going off. We heard footsteps, and then we're like at one point in a junction, it was kind of like right below the nurse's station. We heard furniture get moved around upstairs.
Oh.
And we're like, okay, what in the heck was that? So we went up to look, and you know, there's so many rooms up there, it's like you can't tell where it was coming from.
Yeah, we didn't get too much there, and I think it was just, you know, one of those off nights.
Yeah.
And, you know, we drive everywhere we go, and we had to go pick up our friend to go there, so it was like another 10 hours in the car, and I'm like, we got nothing out of that.
Once we picked up our friend, I slept like a baby in the back seat. I woke up 5 minutes from the hotel, and I was like, how long do we have?
5 minutes, right up here. Because our hotel was right in front of Billy Creek.
Okay. Yeah, so that's like almost walking distance.
Yeah.
We could actually see Billy Creek from our hotel window.
See anything walking around?
No, because for most of the night we were at ISS, and then we went back for like a few hours to sleep so I could drive and get everybody back home where they needed to go.
I think I drove us back to the hotel.
No, I think I did, because I remember I was like, okay, if you guys don't get in the car, I'm leaving you here.
So did you go to Billy Creek?
We did not. We've never been there.
Huh.
We didn't even really know kind of what it was until we looked it up later. We're like, oh, interesting.
Yeah, it looks interesting on the shows I've watched.
Well, then, like last year, like Natalie and I, we stopped there after ISS. We were only on the property for like 5-10 minutes just walking around because it was already all closed up and everybody was gone. And there's that one gray cat that was in Project Fear. Like we go, God, I wonder if we're going to see the cat. Shit you not, within 30 seconds, here comes the cat. It's just like on cue. It's like,
somebody call for me.
Yeah, and it followed us around the whole time.
Oh yeah.
And we've been trying to get our dog to be a ghost hunting dog.
He won't do it.
He cries and whimpers the whole time. We tried to take him across Satch's Bridge in Gettysburg.
He won't get out of the car.
He won't get out of the car. We picked him up and put him down. He jumped back in. He did not want to be there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, my cat, I had her outside a while back, and the neighbor has a little statue, a cement statue of a girl on the backside of her house. And I've known ever since we moved here that it had an attachment. The cat went out. The second it saw that statue, every hair on her was just spread out, and it's just hissing at it. It's like, oh yeah.
Speaking of attachments,
our dog will also sit in one of these chairs and just whimper. We have haunted dolls in this case. We have 5 of them.
Yeah.
And he will just sit here and whimper, and it'll like the doors of the case will pop open. You kind of have to pull on them a little hard to get them to open.
Yeah, but I was literally leaving for work last night, and it was closed when I went to do something like 5 minutes before in this room, and I walked back into Emily's room, and when I was leaving, the door was popped like this.
Yeah. Yeah, my basement door gets opened a lot, usually in the morning. Okay, I come down and it's open. But the other day, it actually did it not too long after I had been down there. All of a sudden, it was back open.
It's saying, come back.
Yeah.
Just want you to come back.
Well, supposedly, with the seance that we did a little while ago, it's my spouse that passed away years ago that's doing it, just because she can.
Mm-hmm.
Fair.
Well, it's like, during that the same seance, it's like supposedly my grandpa is here in our house watching me, which kind of makes sense because I got right above my computer, I got two shelves and stuff is constantly being moved when it shouldn't be moved. I'm like, even if it's only like, a quarter of an inch, you can see the dust. And like right now I'm looking up, I got, I don't know, probably 12 ducks, and four of them are like at an angle when they're normally straight.
Mm-hmm. When we first moved in here, we used to have like car keys go like missing.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd be trying to leave, car keys nowhere.
Yeah.
And you go all through the house and you're literally about to be late to like when you have to leave. And you find the car key in like the spot where it should have been all along.
Mm-hmm.
We were at the Walnut House. We were the third team to investigate that place, and we were getting ready to leave, and we were gathering chips from the cameras to give to Matthew to take back for editing, and we couldn't find mine. It was just on the table. Never have found it.
And I even reached out to the owner of the Walnut House, and he checked the cameras and watched all this packing up. He goes,
Yeah.
I don't see the SD card anywhere. And he looked under the table and under the tablecloths and nothing.
Ghosts are kind of like cats.
Yeah.
They just like bat things to be an inconvenience.
Yeah.
Well,
he said when he was doing remodeling that he'd turn around and the tool would be gone.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like I was telling Chad before you guys got in, I was going through some of my footage from Edinburgh, and it's like every other video has sound. And it's like, okay, really? It's like this one has sound, but this one doesn't. And then there was one video I did on my phone that's nowhere to be found. I'm like,
yeah.
Never fails.
No.
We had that happened with batteries at the DOS house.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of the DOS house, how did that investigation go? Because that's where, when we interviewed the owners, that's how I came about you guys, because they told us about you.
Oh, we got really good activity in like the kids' room up there, where it would set off the REM pod for what toys I was allowed to touch and what toys she was allowed to touch. And if you touched the wrong toy, it was it was like holding it until you said you were sorry, and then it would let it go.
Funny.
I also we heard it from another team who was in our live that night. I kept getting like targeted, and I was like, what did I do? I sat in the barber chair, but they pick in that house, the spirit picks one person from the team, and it just so happened to be me.
That's every time people go in there?
It was one team that reached out and told us about it, and they were like, that's what happened, and we hear that's what has happened to other teams. I was like, I don't know if I should feel special or...
I don't know what it is with us and going out and investigating and getting these massive snowstorms.
Oh yeah.
We left the DOS house a little bit early because we had to shovel my car out, and it's not that far from where we live, and going to these places, it was actually very nice and convenient that we were just going to drive home. We couldn't drive home because there was a massive snowstorm. So we had to stay in a hotel. And dig out the car.
Mhm.
It's just, I don't know what it is. But the nice thing about the DOS house is it has heat.
That's always a plus.
It is.
Can you spend the whole night there, or you cut off at a certain?
I think you get from whatever time you go in to 12 hours later.
We were like 6 to 6.
We were like 6 to 6.
But we had to leave around 2:30, 3 o'clock.
But we left probably around, 3 o'clock.
Because it was supposed to get worse.
Yeah, the snow was supposed to pick up and get a lot worse. So we wanted to get somewhere safer.
Yeah.
Before, that really happened. But for the most part, like it was really nice there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I can't remember if, like, when we were doing the podcast with the owners, I think if I remember right, we were doing the podcast with them the same night you guys were there.
Yeah, I think
so.
I think so, because it was like either that same night or that next morning that we had a message from you about being at the DOS house. And I was like, that's pretty cool for us.
But yeah, so like, they already, because we're doing the Fairfield con next month, and they go, well, this year Adam can have you, next year you're ours. So I guess we're being picked to go out there next June if they have another event. So
it was nice there, and like they had randomly just popped up because we were gonna, I think, go to Randolph again, and they kept popping up, and I was like, you know what, we're gonna go here. It's somewhere new we've never gone, and it keeps popping up. Let's go there. And I'm really glad we did. We got a lot, because I think the owner popped in and said they don't typically get that much activity in that child's room.
Nice.
And it was just constantly.
I think it's just because we were trying to play with the toys.
I think so. Like the abacus, like the calculator,
mm-hmm.
I was only allowed to touch certain beads of certain colors. And it let me know, and then it made me put it back the way it was when we got in there and started messing with it. It made me put all of the beads back. Like, I would start sliding it, it would set off the REM pod, I would stop. Next bead. It took so long.
There was like a little play cradle of baby dolls, and we were only allowed to touch one.
The creepiest looking one.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
And
what did I name him?
I don't remember. And then there was
Frederick.
Demon Donald. It was a creepy Donald Duck like pool toy.
It was just old, so it sounded
scary. So scary. So we nicknamed it Demon Donald.
Not allowed to touch the naked Cabbage Patch Kid.
Yeah, don't even think about touching the Cabbage Patch. You're not allowed.
What other places have you been to?
We've been to Sweet Springs, Randolph, Moundsville, ISS, Old Hospital.
Distillery not far from us.
Haunted Whiskey Distillery, the Greene County Pour Farm.
I grew up around that. That was really cool to investigate.
We've been to Gettysburg 9,000 times and do something different every time we're there. I have a brother that lives out there, so we kind of just have to drive out, take him to dinner one night, and then
sure
stay at his apartment.
He's a tour guide out there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's neat. The time era that I was always interested in was the late 1700s during the French and Indian Wars.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of that history was out on the East Coast there too.
Mm-hmm. Fort Necessity is a big one for the French and Indian War, and it's not far from us.
Yeah.
I
was thinking about Braddock's Crossing, if that was that time frame too, because that's really not that far from us.
So can you talk a little bit about the Greene County Pour Farm, because we're gonna try to go there next year, because next Memorial Day we're doing 2 nights at Trans Allegheny.
Oh.
So I'm going to try getting that in, whether it be before or after.
So I grew up around Greene County Poor Farm, and you always hear like the kids who like volunteer and like work there because they're into like reenacting and stuff. You always hear like the ghost stories. Like there were like phantom boots that they would hear, and like a bunch of other stuff. But they turn it into a haunted house every year for Halloween. And I remember I went one time, and I never went back. And it was because we started to get down to like the basement area, and I was at the top, and they like make you hold a rope, and if you kind of like let go of the rope, you can leave. But we were starting at the top of the stairs, and there were like a bunch of people in front of us because you're going through like 12 at a time on this rope. And I stopped at the top of the stairs because I saw somebody down at the bottom, and I couldn't figure out if it was an actor or not. But nobody else was reacting to the man at the bottom of the stairs yelling, "Help me."
Oh, jeez.
And so I kind of like, I poked my dad, and I was like, "Hey, the guy's blocking the stairs." And my dad was like, "What guy?" And then the first person hit the bottom of the stairs, and he just, and I was like, "I'm out." 10-year-old me was out. We got really good EVPs in the like kitchen, where the baby died. We don't know whether it was from like hypothermia or the oven being turned on in the morning.
Because the mom, she was special needs. She had come in, and she thought like the safest place to put the baby, because like, the baby was cold.
The warmest place.
Baby. Yeah.
I heard about that because Paranormal Quest did an investigation there, and they were talking about that.
But we asked in an EVP, like, how old was the baby? And through our mic and on the EVP, when we play it back, you can hear 2.
We don't know if it's 2 years, 2 months.
2 days. The women's ward was super interesting. I would have spent more time up there. I didn't realize I was up there for so long until Emily came and got me. But I got a couple of answers, not a bunch. I asked, like, were you an inmate here? Because sometimes they were referred to as inmates, and other times they were referred to as, like, residents.
Yep.
And I got a, yeah.
And I went to, like, college in Waynesburg, and we had to do a service learning project. Like, our first weekend at that school, we had to do a service learning. So we either had to walk around, and I had to, for some reason, I got put into 2 groups that year. They just had me do both. I had to put these little tags on people's doors. Really awkward. And then I had to go there to help, like, clean up and, like, sweep and dust and everything. And there was one room upstairs that I was like, I don't want to go in there.
Is it the one with the dress on a mannequin?
No, it's not. I'm trying to even think. It's like almost like the one that's completely empty. Did not want to go in there.
I was going to say the bedroom's another one, like the main bedroom on like the living quarters half of it, because it's split. Because like the people who ran it used to live there. I remember we were walking out of the room, and my head just went, and I was like, ow.
But I was really, nobody else seemed to be comfortable in the basement, but I was extremely comfortable down there. Like, I just wanted to spend my whole time down there. And
she really did. And me having, like, me being scared of it from being 10 years old was like, no, thank you.
And I think it's because they used to put people who had, like, seizure disorders down there.
But they would also put you there if you were, like, arrested for drunk and disorderly.
Yeah, like, they'd put you down there. So, and I without thinking we're on the tour, and I was like, I'm with my people. Just like it popped out of my head.
Yeah.
Like out of my mouth. Like, and I'm like, where did that come from? Because I don't know, I like hit my head a couple years ago. Like I had like almost like a heat induced something, and I hit my head, and then I started getting like focal seizures after that. And there's no cause for them. There's no like real triggers for them. It just
no. We'll just be sitting somewhere investigating, and I'll just feel her head on my shoulder, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yep, just down.
And everybody's like, and I'm like, she's good. Give her a minute.
But Greene County was nice. We also got really good activity in the one like cabin that's on the property. Like there's 2 cabins. The one more behind the house. We got good activity. Like we had a cat
directly in front of the hillside.
Directly in front of the hillside. We got some good like cat ball activity there. I just can't remember which side it was on. If it was on the right or the left, because you walk up the stairs and then it splits.
Well, if you're walking up the stairs, it would be on the left.
Okay.
But if you're walking out, it's on the right.
We got some good activity in there. We got
the empty room, not the one set up with like a bed or anything. It was the empty side.
Yeah, it was the empty side. We got some good activity in there. We got a couple weird EVPs in there.
It was weird to go on a tour and people tell you where it is when I knew where everything was, because we took so many school trips there. Because it was 15 minutes from my school. There are shackles in the basement still that were used by one of the owners. He walked with a cane.
Yeah, it was that's a good place to investigate.
Yeah, it's been on my list ever since I saw it when Destination Fear was back there way back in the day.
What about Moundsville?
Ooh, Moundsville's where I got my boyfriend. I had a really weird thing happen in the men's ward of Moundsville. We were in there like by ourselves. We went like with a Haunted Nights event, so there were like a bunch of people, but it's so big that you could be the only 2 in a section. And we were sitting there, and at the time I had like red streaks like in my hair, and we kept getting like red hair, and I was like, okay, cool, thanks. And then I randomly started like gasping for air and like couldn't catch my breath, and it went away like after I walked outside to get like a water bottle from Emily's car. And I came back in and I was like, oh, well, I have the water bottle now, but now I don't need it because I'm not choking.
Yeah.
Red did not like me in his cell whatsoever.
Oh.
I think it's,
I think it's because you were fake blonde.
It could have been that.
You were not actually the Aryan race.
Because that's his thing.
Yeah.
And, I had family members who were in like concentration camps back at that time. So I think he just knew, and he did not want me anywhere near his room. Like I kept seeing like something walking, the REM pod went off, like something was like holding it, and then it just stopped.
Didn't the REM pod like stop working?
And then after that it did stop working, like the battery died in it. New battery. I think Red just really took all the energy out of it.
Like, get out.
He called me some poor choice words on the spirit box, which is always fun, because he just did not want me in his cell.
No, my favorite is he called you something that like you and your brothers call each other. But then you were like, no,
Yeah.
from the ghost, it's offensive. It's like fair.
Yeah.
But Moundsville was all in all like really cool.
Yeah.
And it's only like an hour and a half from us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've seen a few shows about it. Yeah, it looks like an interesting place.
It was. I'd seen like the Ghost Adventures episode of it.
Yeah, and Sam and Colby were there too.
Yeah, I did see that one too.
The worst part was the bats.
The bats.
That's the worst part of going there. The bats.
I refused to go to the basement.
The like boiler room, or
it's like the boiler room, like basement part of it.
Yeah.
Because somebody had a bat fly in their mouth down there, and I was like, absolutely not.
Okay.
Nope. I was gonna crawl out of the men's ward, and there was a cage above our heads to protect us from the bats. I still didn't want to stand up
because we hid in a cell for like an hour.
That's why we ended up investigating in that cell, was because we ducked in there to hide from the bats.
Mm-hmm.
See, they don't show that part.
No,
of course not.
The Sugar Shack.
Yeah.
We kept getting grabbed.
Mm-hmm.
My chest was grabbed several times down there, and I was like, hey, buddies. Because the Sugar Shack was like lawless almost.
Yeah.
Because you can't put a guard in there because there's no exit for the guard, and that would be a really easy way to get the guard overpowered. So they stood at the top of the stairs, and they didn't really go in.
Anything went.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was an interesting one.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I feel like I'm trying to just think, because that was a couple years ago. Still, it's like almost 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I think my favorite place in there was probably the Sugar Shack. That I may have gotten grabbed, but once I was like, "Hey, no."
I like the other. I don't know. It was the one that had the creepy statues in it. It was like not the Sugar Shack, was like the indoor rec room.
Oh, visitation center.
The visitation room. I liked being in there.
It was contact visitation too.
I did my solo in there.
Handcuffed.
Handcuffed. So if something happens, like, I'm gonna pop.
I turned the light because she was live streaming, because I was like, if you live stream while you do your solo, like, I can watch you and I can come and let you out.
Yeah.
So I had it turned on and I was just like watching her. She's just vibing. Occasionally you'll see Emily's head move. She's singing a song in her head.
Yeah. I think probably the most uncomfortable investigation we ever did was, in fact, Sweet Springs. It's just very.
I know. Sore subject for Matt.
Very, very.
Sorry.
I'm still waiting for it to open.
Yeah, as you were talking about it, I could just see him with his teeth grinding.
Like,
that's what Natalie said.
Oh yeah, she knows.
That one was probably.
She was like, "My dad's gonna be so mad that you've been there."
All I can say is, even if I can at least drive by it someday and take pictures, that'll make me feel a tiny bit better.
It was like really cool though.
It was. The just don't recommend the basement.
It would have been like the slave quarter side of the basement. We got chased out of it. Ran up the stairs from like mysterious growling and footsteps like stomping behind us, literally until we got to the 3rd floor and we were turning the corner to go into the bathroom where everybody else was. crawler hallway, I had a really weird experience.
Mm-hmm.
Our friend that's really good with like seeing and hearing, I was sitting there and the entire time, like, all I can feel is like somebody's looming over me in this doorway. And like, I heard at one point, like, they're talking about us. And I was like, I kind of looked around and I was like, oh, I heard the ghost behind me. Cool. And I was like, us? So we were getting ready to leave, like, that hallway. And our friend just goes, hey, Kenz, you know there's, like, a man standing behind you, right? And I was like, yeah, he's been there this whole time. And everybody's like, why didn't you say anything? And I was like, because I sound crazy. Like, I know we go and we look for stuff, but, like, I sound genuinely crazy when I'm like, I'm pretty sure there's a man standing behind me.
Yeah. Well, that's why I like to tell people. That's why I like the things that go beep when there's somebody around, because it's validation of what I'm seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then I described him, like, we did like a 3, 2, 1, because Emily was watching us do it, because she went 3, 2, 1, and my friend and I gave the same description of this man: Perry the Platypus colored scrubs and an orange ball cap. But when, like, a male came near me, I could feel like he backed off, and I was like, oh, thank Lord.
Yeah, because we went, it was like a big group thing.
Mm-hmm. I think there were 10 of us.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I think there were 9 of us because somebody got sick in the beginning of the night.
Oh, yeah. Somebody got really sick and didn't end up actually, like, they went in, signed the papers, and then took a nap, I think, in the car for the rest of the time.
The tour, but then she bowed out because it was actually in the slave quarter side of the basement. She got really sick and she just, like, continued to feel really sick.
And then I think we did a triple S this session where 3 of us went under. And I just remember I kept feeling like something like grabbing like through my hair and like pulling my head. It was like,
I heard it was Emily and 2 other people were under. So then there's me and the rest of everybody who, like, can only hear what they're saying. Like, we can't hear what they're hearing. And I heard it was from the stairwell, and it sounded like it would have been at the bottom of the stairwell, like a scream. Like a woman screaming. And I was like, did anybody hear that? And everybody's like, what? And they played back their footage, and you can hear it on the camera, but nobody else heard it.
Well, that's kind of the same thing that happened to Project Fear when they're there. Chelsea heard somebody screaming down there.
It sounds like the most gut-wrenching, like, scream of a woman, like, you could think of. Like,
did you ever think of where that staircase led to? Where the woman had her arm ripped off, and that's the story that you'll hear her scream.
Yeah,
she had her arm.
I didn't think about that.
I guess if I got my arm ripped off, I'd scream too.
Yeah, it got stuck in like this. I think it was the sewing machine.
Ooh.
Yeah, was it the sewing machine or like some kind of laundry?
It
was some kind of laundry machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's still there.
Yeah, and it's still there. But we were in there, and I just kept seeing somebody walk because they kept setting off a cat ball. And, like, the floors down there are cement. So it's not like walking is going to set it off.
Yeah.
You, like, walk that close to it. But it was just, like, because I could see where, like, you guys know cat balls. But, like, it would, like, black out for, like, a second and then kick back on. Like,
yeah.
And I'm like, who is pacing in there?
Yeah, and then down there, Emily and I went down there by ourselves. Emily and I went down there by ourselves, and there's footage of me being so weird, just glaring at Emily. Like, the rudest side eye you could think of. And I was like, I watched it back, and I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah, you guys would have loved Rock Island. When I was up on the 4th floor, one of the gals that was with us was there with me, and I had put the cat ball right outside of the room that had a crazy guy in it back years ago, and he didn't do anything with it until I accidentally kicked the little thing that I had to get the ball setting on, and it went off. And then right after that, we went down the hall, turned around, and it just kept going off, and he didn't realize what it was, I guess, until he seen the movie.
With equipment, you almost have to like show them it's okay to touch it.
Yeah.
That's how it was. The millimeter. We borrowed one during ISS, and we had it set up, and I was playing Chinese checkers, and like nothing was happening, but we all just kept looking to the side because we almost heard like shuffle steps. And so I was like, you can touch it, like it's not going to hurt. And I touched it, and I took my finger away, and like 3 seconds after I take my finger away, it starts going off again.
And I think once, like, whoever was in there with us started like
touching equipment,
it was like, wow, this is great. And just
touch everything.
Let me touch everything that they have in this room.
That's cool.
And then we had some really, really weird things at Randolph. Another snowstorm.
A blizzard, actually.
A blizzard, and it was negative 17 degrees.
Oh, awesome.
I actually burned my ankle. I still have a little bit of a scar with a hand warmer.
Like a hot hand. She put it in her sock.
I thought my sock was a little bit... I was wearing 2 pairs of socks. I thought my second pair was tall enough that it wouldn't slide down when I slept.
She was wrong. That night was weird.
Yeah, we were at an event, and there was somebody that came in late that just kept like following us. And it was a Haunted Nights event, and thankfully Steve was very, very nice and like hung out with us until like we were left alone,
or until that kid like went to sleep.
But we all went up and we went to bed. It was probably like 4:30 in the morning, and like, was it all 4 of us, or did you not wake up for it?
I didn't like.
I know
I didn't react to it, but I was awake for it.
The door like opened for like 10 seconds and then it closed.
Yeah.
And nobody thought, we all just like sat still in our beds like, what is happening?
Yeah, we all didn't talk about it until the next day. Because we were like
loudly or quietly?
It like the door opened quietly.
Like it like creaked open. And I think it was like the angle that I was, because I was sleeping on the floor. She brought a mattress in.
She was like at my head.
Yeah, like I was laying more towards her head. I was like sleeping around like the window by a Christmas tree. And I could see out of the door perfectly where everybody else had something blocking them. And like it was like all I could really see were like a pair of feet.
I didn't really have anything blocking me. I was just kind of like already slightly under the covers.
So you kind of just
move them.
And yeah, like I saw feet like walk up to the door because they left that hall light on in case anybody had to get up in the night. And like I saw like feet walk to the door open, and then a couple seconds later the door shut, and like that was it. And we're like, oh, like that had to have just been like, you know, somebody's checking in. Maybe it was like, you know, like it's his event. We're all sleeping.
Months later, because we were just like, I think we all wanted to rationalize in our head like it was just a person.
Yeah.
So we were like, months later, we were like, hey, did you by chance like do the most dad thing you could have done and open the door to check on us like at like 4:30 in the morning, and he was like, no, why would I open the door? And we were like,
dang it.
You decided to take Grandpa Steve to the next level.
Yeah. Mackenzie and I were the only ones who stuck it through the entire tour. This man took us on a really 3.5 hour tour. He just kept talking to us. Everybody else like slowly started to bail out.
Really, really
he was
sweet.
So sweet. And we started like we felt like we had to stick with him. And
like,
here's like the whole
had passed away from cancer like a year prior.
Yeah, something. So like we were like, we can't leave him on this tour.
He kept dropping his flashlight.
Yeah, he was a very old he was an old man.
He told me not to lick the walls.
To lick the lead paint.
He said don't do it.
But we were walking through this hallway and I just tripped into this spot and I heard a name and I heard like somebody was like, I'm Lulu. And I'm like, he's like, did you just hear something? And I'm like, yeah, why? He's like, what did you hear? I was like, I heard I'm Lulu. He's like, I had a psychic in here a couple years before, tripped in that exact same spot, turned to me and looked and said, who's Lulu? And I'm like, well, who is Lulu? Because now like I'm thinking she's pushing.
Well, I like almost tripped in that spot, but I had watched Emily do it, so I kind of went like around it because I thought there was something like on the floor, like she caught her foot on, and I was like, I'm not gonna trip, like I'll be good. I tripped very slightly, but I like caught myself, and you almost couldn't tell. Emily was the only one that looked at me and was like,
and Ida downstairs, she was not our
fan. But it was past bedtime.
Yeah, I think we were just bothering her. We wanted to go down at like 5 o'clock in the morning.
We got in trouble.
No, we got in trouble for like 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
But at like 5 o'clock in the morning, I woke up and I was like, wow, I really want to go see Ida. I want to go down in the basement. And I'm like, that is such a terrible idea. Don't go down there by yourself. But like I had to fight the urge to like wake everybody up and go, let's go down to see Ida. Because that's when she would get like let out, and that's when she was the most active. Is that 5 o'clock in the morning, and like you'll hear her cackle, her laugh at that time, and I'm like, I just
want to go meet the lady.
Like
she wasn't up to visitors tonight.
Yeah, she did not want to hang out with us that night. But I can't remember who the lady in the kitchen. I can't remember what her name was.
Lost it.
Yeah, I can't remember. She was great.
She was having the time of her life down there.
Yeah, with like
cat balls,
the flashlights, and then we got a really creepy voice that I think came from the hallway, the other hallway, not Ida's hallway, but the other one.
So the live stream, like when we watch it back, our mic, like everything else cuts out, but you can.
We didn't have a mic, remember, because the mic wouldn't load. It was just the volume.
Everything, like all the outside noise cuts out, and it's just this voice,
and it's very creepy.
We hear two different things every time. I hear like, "I'm gonna kill you."
Oh, jeez.
Here's nice something person. Else, and I'm like. Because I heard it because I was watching it by myself with like my headphones on, and I was like, "Oh no!"
I don't even know if I put what it says.
Because we couldn't figure out what it said. Because we were so back and forth on what we heard.
Yeah, and like a flashlight went off, and then everything cuts, and it's just this voice, and we're like,
and we're all actively talking.
We're all like talking, and it was like. It was very weird. Yeah. And right when that happened is when that kid came down and was with us. Like there was something attached there that I couldn't figure out. Because the first thing he said during the tour is, well, like, can we use like Ouija boards and stuff?
Everybody in the room went, no.
Like, and then he.
Not at a location, like. with so much negativity attached.
And we walked past like the scrying room. He's like, well, how do you do this? And we're like, if you don't know how to do it, don't even attempt. He's like, well, can you teach me how to do it? And I was like, no.
Like, we know how to do it, and we probably wouldn't attempt it.
No, like, no, thank you. We're not doing that. Ow, I keep hitting my arm off of this. But, like, we don't know, because he left for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think that's where he went, because everything started getting a little weird after that.
I wandered, like, down that way on accident, and I thought I saw him, but I like turned around because I was like, nope, don't want to be alone with him.
We're on the tour, and he just like reaches out and touches Mackenzie's
We didn't
hair.
even leave the tour. We were just getting history. Like, we were getting Ida's story upstairs because she doesn't like it told in her room, so they tell the story upstairs. And I thought, because a lot of times my hair gets touched, a lot of times, and I'm like, it's fine, like, especially when it's curled. Like, a lot of like older lady spirits like when it's curled like to a good ringlet. I'm letting it fall for like when we record, and I just felt like somebody like touched my hair, and I was like, it's a ghost.
It was not a ghost. It was a
not
person.
A ghost. I thought it was more uncomfortable that it was a person.
And I kept seeing something like it was like it was like more like their version of like a crawler in the one hallway, and like I kept seeing it move, and everybody else is also seeing it move.
The way it moved was so funny.
Yeah.
It was like
Pink Panthering on the wall.
Like somebody trying to like recreate like the Pink Panther's step. And then like sliding against the wall.
Like when we would look,
like,
and it would notice that we were looking up against the wall, and I'm like, we can see you.
And we were sitting there for a good like minute before anybody noticed, giggling at the hallway.
Because we're like, what is even happening right now?
And like the first time we giggled to the wall, so we kind of like stopped giggling because we were like, what? And then it started again. That very exaggerated like Pink Panther high knee step.
Yeah. All right. So what would be each one of you? What would be a bucket list location?
Sally House. Or Hellfire Club in, I believe it's Ireland.
Yep.
Scotland.
I think so.
But I have ties to the Hellfire Club because I have ties to the Freemasons, and they're like really interconnected. So I think that would be really cool to see like kind of where it started. Also, I'm Scotch-Irish.
There you go.
I really want to go to Waverly. That's where I want to go. And I want to go to the Myrtles Plantation.
Oh, that's a good one.
I watched a history. My brother, he does like a lot of history stuff.
He sleeps to it.
And like it was a show like probably when I was like 6 or 7 that was about Chloe. I had the biggest obsession with Chloe ever. I don't know why, but that is where I would want to go. Because it was a couple years ago. I don't know what was like going on. I kept losing every earring in my left ear. Only my left ear.
She only got green lights.
I only got green lights for like a solid month. I did not hit a single red light driving.
Mind you, she could drive somewhere, and I'm driving back, hitting every red light. Mm-hmm. She drove there and got every green light.
Yeah. And like, I don't know, because left ear was the one that was cut off. Mm-hmm. And she
takes left earrings.
And she takes left earrings. I lost every single left earring.
Girl, she's getting my earrings out. Good luck to her.
Like, it was just very weird. And then I went to bed and I woke up and it was a Chloe video playing.
Sure.
And I'm like, I don't even really like all that often fall asleep anymore to like ghost things, because then like not something weird happened.
The Robert the Doll incident.
Yeah, not since my Robert the Doll incident.
Yeah.
I kind of stopped doing that, and this was after that, and it was just very weird because I'm like, because Chloe is known to be seen as like a green flash.
Okay.
Sometimes. And I'm like, that's so weird. Like green lights all the time. Like I kept thinking
my room was green at the time.
Yeah, like everything was just green. And I was like, that's so weird. The only green I didn't get was money, and that would have been even nicer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Kenz, I don't know if you know a whole lot of the history of the Freemasons and the Knights Templar and all that, but do you know where the term Friday the 13th got its beginning?
No.
That's the day that what did they call them? The overlord of England. They had all the Knights Templar rounded up and had them massacred. And that's where Friday the 13th came from. It was on Friday the 13th.
Huh. I do know that, like, this would probably be interesting because, like, 1700s, like, Civil War. So the Freemason call, that is not the 1700s.
There you go.
Don't quote me on my timelines or my states. But during the Civil War, like, there's a Freemason call. If they heard the Freemason call, and even if it was a Confederate, like, they were going to sit with that person until they passed.
Like Union or Confederate, like they would kind of stop what they were doing to listen
and it
to the
still
call.
happens in like modern day warfare. You hear that call, you go.
Yeah. No, that's something I didn't know.
I don't remember the call.
I don't either.
I'd have to ask my dad.
What about you guys? What are your like
bucket
list locations that you haven't gone to?
You guys already know mine.
Sweet Springs.
But besides Sweet Springs, I would have to say probably Crescent.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't think that's that far from us either.
Crescent Hotel?
No, Sanatorium.
Crescent Sanatorium, not the Crescent. Crescent.
Yeah, it's probably not too far from you guys.
Because we passed the road that it's on leaving the Doss house. I think. Yeah, because our friend had it pulled up and she's like, it's right there. It's right there. We can go visit. We can. I'm like, it is snowing and I'm trying not to swerve off the road. We're not going anywhere except for this hotel.
Yeah, I actually got invited to do photography for their Paracon that they're having on June 30th. But unfortunately, it's Natalie's softball tournament weekend. So softball trumps Crescent, I guess.
For a teenage girl, it does.
Yeah, and I'm one of the coaches on the team, so I kind of have to be there.
For me, it's Trans-Allegheny. But then we're kind of looking for going there next year. So then the next one would be Garnett House.
I also want to go to Trans-Allegheny. I've never been there.
Not even like when it was a haunted house, because it's a haunted house every year. Like they jump out and scare you.
Yeah.
I also want to go to Eastern State Penitentiary, but my brother's tour company from Gettysburg, they're doing a History Philadelphia tour, and then they're doing a Haunted Philadelphia tour where we're going to get to go inside of Eastern State.
Yeah.
And I think that'll be really, really interesting.
Yeah, that'd be neat.
I want to go everywhere. That's my thing. I can never pick where I want to go. I want to go everywhere.
Right. But yeah, our Trans-Allegheny trip next year, we were just going to do one night. I'm like, So I reached out to him like, well, could we possibly do 2 nights? So like the first night we're doing the main building, and the second night we're doing all the rest.
Ooh. Yeah, I think Trans-Allegheny would be really cool.
Another really cool location, but they're not letting anybody in anymore. Adam Kimmel went with Resident Undead, the House of Wills in Cleveland, Ohio.
We drove past that, didn't we?
Yeah, because we drove past it on our way back from the Sabrina Carpenter concert.
Yeah, we might have to drive by that next weekend. Still be going through Cleveland.
It's really cool.
Yeah,
on the outside, and
we just Googled where it was, and it took us right past it.
A lot of really tragic deaths happened, like outside or in the building. I think an entire family passed away in that house. And I think it's the entire Wills family?
I think so. I don't know.
And they have like a funeral parlor because at the time, like, segregation was still a big thing. So they had their own funeral parlor in there. And it's still kind of set up. And I think somebody went in the casket on the Resident Undead video. But I know, like, Becca, who works with Adam, had, like, a really bad, like, somebody was trying to, like, a spirit was, like, trying to enter her body, and it was just, like, they were, like, dragging her out.
Yeah, that's why I want to go everywhere, because I think everywhere is interesting.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like...
Because everywhere has so much, like, history, too.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, like, we're hunting ghosts, but we're also big, giant history buffs.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, me too.
And then I've never actually spent, like, a full, and, like, I've been into both of these locations, but we've never, like, went ghost hunting there, is the Jenny Wade house and the orphanage.
Yeah.
I just think that those are really cool places. And I had one weird Jenny Wade thing happen when I was a little kid going on a tour there. And my brother, he'll call me. He's like, hey, I have to go to the orphanage. Will you stay on the phone with me while he has to?
So if you move the mannequin in the basement, apparently it
makes Mr. Wade very mad because he still thinks that that's Jenny's body.
Oh, sure.
So he gets very, very mad. That was my brother's job over the winter, was to move the mannequin,
stay on the phone the whole time,
fix up the bed. But we're going up the tour, like we're going up the stairs, and my brothers and I were like the last people in the group, and we just see like a handprint on the stairs, like appear, and it's like a little kid's handprint. And we're like, we go upstairs and we're like, hey, like, is that like a secret, like hidden thing of like the handprint? And she's like, I've never seen a handprint there. Like, let's go now. And I think it's like a full circle moment now that like my brother, that's where he works.
Yeah.
That's what he always wanted to do, though.
Yeah, he always wanted to go and live in Gettysburg. Like that's been his thing. We went there every year. In the summer growing up, like that is.
I'd never been there until 2022 when Emily took me.
And we go back a couple times a year because it's not really that far.
It's like 3.5 hours.
It's like, yeah, it's like 3.5 hours. We get to take our dog. So
he likes walking around out there.
But if we're
he
going
likes
off
the attention he gets walking around out there.
If we're going off of dog rules, he owns Culp's Hill and East Cemetery Hill. We're going off of dog rules.
He likes to play hide and seek on Culp's Hill.
Yeah, he likes to play hide and seek. He's not afraid there, but if we take him to Satch's Bridge,
even during the day,
he will not get out of the car. Everywhere else, he is fine, and we can take him out, except for there. And
I would want to investigate the murder house in Gettysburg.
Yeah, there's a murder house that my brother lives next to, that they opened up for investigations.
Wasn't it like a residence before that? Like people lived there?
Yeah. But I don't know. I just want to go everywhere.
Yeah, I think everybody does.
Yeah.
But I think I definitely want to. I think Waverly is really, really cool. And I don't know why I like tuberculosis hospitals.
Yeah.
I really like going there. I don't know why.
Yeah, most of them are good size.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, I like going to those ones.
And kind of like hospitals, it was like there were buildings where you either had happiness or sadness. You know, you were happy if you actually got cured and were released, and not so if you ended up passing there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's also just there's so much traffic in and out of hospitals that there's so much energy in there.
Yeah. And that's why I tell people about active schools too. You know, there's just so much energy from kids being in there that they're always active.
Yep.
Because we've never gone to Post Town either. Even though it's not that far, I think that's going to be one that we want to go to.
Sure.
Watch out for the bats.
Oh.
I'll let you know because we'll be there next month. And somebody that's going with us, he goes, I will be in a full-blown beekeeper suit because the bats there are intense.
Yeah, catch me bedazzle in a beekeeper suit.
I'm like, okay, wonderful. I've gotten kamikaze by bats before at Waverly, so we'll see if it's worse there.
I use the stop, drop, and roll method when I see bats.
So like the thing at Waverly, I did not see the bats until after I was going back through the footage, and they were like swooping right over my head.
No.
I'm like, all right, hello.
Sometimes I think it's the noise that they make that freaks me out more than them flying.
The dive bomber sound.
Yeah. But then it's kind of like, so for me, like, you know, going back through that footage, this is before we started our team. So I'm like, you know, I got to somehow incorporate the bat into our logo. So we got the bat on there. That just came from Waverly.
Another really cool place I've heard about is Lep Castle or Campbell Castle in Scotland.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just want to go there because Campbell's my last name.
So what was it? A couple months ago? I did a podcast with somebody from over in Ireland, and he goes to Lemp Castle like weekly.
Yeah.
And she goes, if you're ever over here, you have a tour guide. I'm like, I will take you up on that.
Yeah, that would be neat.
So it's kind of ironic. I'm going to bring this up. It has nothing to do, well, it kind of has stuff to do with what we're talking about. But when we were talking about Sweet Springs, so Carrie, that's out at Pennhurst, they were just met Dakota, Tanner, and Alex of Project Fear. And I had written them a letter and put our team bracelets in there, stickers, and a business card. And she gave it to Dakota, and he opened. He goes, oh, this is a really cool idea. He goes, I'm going to read the letter, and it sounds like he's going to reach out to us. Because I go, our junior members want to invite you guys on a podcast and interview you. So it just so happened to happen during our Sweet Springs conversation. So we might have Project Fear in a future podcast.
Cool.
The girls were talking about like wanting Dakota and like Project Fear on a podcast when we were at Farrar.
Yeah, but then Natty says if that happens, she goes, I don't think I'd be able to do it. She goes, I'd probably just sit there. I'm like, well.
That's so funny. Emily had to talk when we met Sam and Colby.
Yeah, because Mackenzie was like,
I walked through the door first because normally I don't have a problem like talking to people, and then I just froze because I was like, this is like really weird opportunity for meeting you.
Right. Well, it's like it's like, they're people just like us. And
Yeah.
it's like back in March, was it March? Or was it April? When I met Patty Negri over in Eau Claire, it's like I saw her, I walked up to her and introduced myself, and she gave me a hug like we've known each other forever.
Mm-hmm. They were super cool about meeting us.
And I think the thing is, they were in the parking lot, and we had just got into town in Gettysburg. We're taking our dog out because he just drove 3.5 hours with us. Like, he needs to go do his thing.
And he likes to see all his tour guide friends that give him treats.
So we're walking through the parking lot, and I think he heard their voices and was like, I know their voices. Those are friends.
He was pulling so hard.
And I was like, stop it. They don't want to talk to you.
Not everybody
wants to pet you. Not everybody likes you. Because, that's kind of how he'll listen.
Sometimes you have to tell him that because
he won't stop. And I was taking him on a quick walk, and they were investigating somewhere, and there was a ton of people. The Farnsworth house. And I had to like grab him because all these kids were like trying to touch my dog. And I was like, he's not friendly. He is friendly, but not when there's that much going on. He can get a little reactive. And I was like, no, don't pet him. Like, he's not friendly. All the kids were like, perfect, fine.
Grown adults are the ones that ignore that.
A grown man shoved his hand in my dog's face, and I was like, if he bites you, it is not on me.
Yeah.
And he was like, why do you even have him out if he's a biter? It was like, he's not usually, but you just stuck your hand in his face.
Yeah.
And right now he recently started having like seizures really bad, and he's completely out of it right now. And I don't know how he would do around a ton of people, because right now he's walking. We've lived here for 2 years.
He's walking into walls.
He's walking into walls because I don't think he sees them.
Oh, shoot. Yeah.
And yeah, we were cleaning our kitchen yesterday, and he walked headfirst into the mop bucket. And I'm like, dog, what am I going to do with you?
Right.
Yeah.
But while cleaning the kitchen, I just wiped down the refrigerator, and a man's handprint was just sitting right there, like where I like had just wiped it. It didn't match either of our, like, it was this much bigger than either of our hands.
Wow.
I'm like,
I hadn't even been in the kitchen.
Yeah, I was like, well, that's creepy. Kenz, come here. So I'm like, what? And I don't know if it's because we're talking about moving. Because there used to be a building directly like behind us, and it burned down.
It was like a hotel restaurant.
It was like a hotel restaurant. And I'm wondering if some of the activity, because like we would hear things. It burned down before we moved in. But
they didn't knock it down until like a year
into us living here. And I wonder if they kind of just were like, well, we got to go somewhere now.
Right.
And just jumped over here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, you can't come with us. I'm sorry.
Because when they knocked it down, they actually barricaded us in our apartment for the day.
They barricaded us in. Like, there was like so much debris in front of our door. And I was like, if a fire breaks out, because I called our landlord.
We have a fire ladder.
I called our landlord, and I was like, hey, like, can you call them and tell them to do something? Because if something happens up here, we're going to die.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, yeah, we'll get them to clean it up. And then they never did. And I was like, well,
they called, but the place wouldn't clean it up.
The place wouldn't clean it up until after they were done. And I was like, okay, well, just know if I have to like strap my dog to my back and climb down a fire ladder, I'm going to be very upset.
Right.
I will absolutely strap him to me, but I'm just going to be upset.
Well, I'm going to have to bow out. My daughter keeps calling me to head to Wilmer for shopping.
All right. Yeah, we probably should end it because I got to get some stuff ready for tonight. And then have to get Natty in a little bit. She's at that dance thing. So,
yeah.
Have a good investigation.
Yep. So the last thing do with the podcast is give you guys an opportunity to plug your socials and where everybody can find you.
We are M_Kenz 4717 on Snapchat, Instagram, and TikTok.
All right.
That's us.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we enjoyed talking to you, and thank you for
for
joining
having
us. And we shall talk soon.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Everybody have a great day.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.